Hey guys, so in this video I'll be solving this challenge called calendar module. So we'll be learning to use this calendar module. So inside this we can see we can right click and see in the new tab the documentation of calendar. So it is basically about generating a calendar, how we can generate, and there are different methods related to this calendar module. There is weekdays, so I mean there are a lot of things to be frank. We have to use this, so I think they have given this test calendar. We will be using which one we will be using, this one, calendar.weekday we will be using in this exercise. One more thing I want to point here is, for calendar module 0 is Monday and it goes till 6, so 0 to 6, 0 is Monday, 6th is Sunday, so that is also something we will use. Now let's go and see what it says. So this is a class calendar.text calendar, which we have seen before here, so you can read more about this. The sample code here tells something. First I'll read this. The calendar module allows you to output calendars and provides additional information, useful information for them. So you can do different things with calendars, but basically you'll play around with calendar. Now this class is used to generate plain text calendars. Example, here you can see, first it imported the calendar library, then inside calendar it is calling text calendar method, and it is giving setting the first week a day as 6. So 6 means Sunday, so it should start with Sunday. You can see here Sunday, each day, first week is Sunday, so every time it is starting from Sunday, every month is starting from Sunday. So that is how you arranged. If you will write here 0, means it will start from Monday here, then Monday all the way till Sunday. So that's how I will show you how it works. Now here they have given 2015's calendar, so you can see whole calendar here, and you can learn more if you want. Now the task what we are given with is, will be given a date and we have to find the day on that date. Okay, what was the date, what is the date, or what will be the date, those things. And the input will be given in this format: dd YYYY. Okay, so month, date and year, they will be separated by space. Okay, the constraint is year has to be between 2000 to 3000, and the output we have to write the day in capital letters. For example, 8/5/2015 was Wednesday. Okay, so 5th is the day, 8th is a month, and 2015 is the year. You can see August 5th 2015 was Wednesday. So for any date you should be able to find out the day. Okay, so let me do it Python 3. Now as always, first we should import calendar, and then what we can do is, we have to use weekday. Okay, so what is the benefit of using that is, you will directly give the input as month, year and date, and it will give you the day directly. Okay, so I'll show you. First I'll take the input dot split. Okay, and I am calling it as let's say in. No, not in. Let me input date. Okay, and then what we have to do is, we have to use calendar module. So why it is showing dash, 1 minute. How do you import it? Import calendar, calendar. Oh, okay, spelling was incorrect. So now we can use day of interest variable. Just I am writing something random, and we can use calendar dot weekday, this weekday, and here we can define in year, month and date. Okay, so let me show you again. In calendar module we saw weekday, right? Control F, weekday, day, HTML calendar, where is weekday? Set first weekday and this weekday. Okay, so here you can see that directly you will feed the year, month and day, and you will get the day of the week directly, where 0 it will be given in a number form. So 0 means Monday. I'll show you. So it's year, month and day. And how we are getting the input? First element is month, second element is day, third element is 0, 1, 2. Okay, so 2. Input date 2, and then what is the input? Month is first guy. I'll take this, I'll take and control V. So month will be getting in first, means 0, month, and then day is first. So it's in list form, right? So that's why I'm doing in this fashion. So already bracket was there. So I'll use dark mode, which I really like. Dark mode and begin. Zoom out. Now it will be better. So we can see the whole code, and we can even see the calendar here. So I'll show you the output as well. Print the input date, and here I'll print day of interest. So that you will see how they both look like and how I am using this. Okay, let me run this. Oh, okay. It is str type, so I have to convert it into int. So let me do it. So int, so it is in list, the input is in str form, right? So here I will do int. You can do above as well, so no issues. And then int. Okay, so now it will be fine. Processing, taking too much time. Okay, so here you can see we have provided 8/5/2015, same input 8/5/2015, and what we are getting at the output is 2 means 0 means Monday, so 1 will be Tuesday, 2 will be Wednesday. Wednesday should be the answer. Yeah, Wednesday is the answer. Now we have to convert this number into the days, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'll use if else statement. So if my day of interest is equal to 0, then I'll print Monday. All should be in capital. That is the requirement. Now I'll copy 6 times. Control C, Control V, Control V. Let me write these guys. 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is Monday, this is Tuesday. Tuesday. Okay, let me write it later on. First I'll set it everything, the format. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, 4, 5, then 6. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then Thursday, THUR, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Right? So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday spelling is corrected. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So from 0 to 6 it is going. So 0 means Monday, 6 means Sunday. So let me do it, and I'll comment these guys. So we can see we have done it. Let me write the constraint as well. So how we should write? Okay, so if input date 2, that's integer type, right? Integer input date is less than 2000 or the same thing if it is greater than 3000, then print year is out of range. Year is out of range, right? Year is out of range. So input, if integer input this, so this is actually taking the year, and since it is in a string format, it is converting into int. Okay, so we also have to look for less than equal to, greater than equal to. It should not be equal to as well. Okay, so if this is the constraint, and this is the module we are using here, and we are printing it. Let's run it. So yeah, sample case is pass. All the constraints are fine. Now we can submit it. So all the test cases are passed. You can see okay, congratulations. So now here you can see this was our 0th test case. Let's look some other test case. I'll unlock. So here what they are checking for, 2059. Okay, 1225. So 25th December 2059 is Thursday. So our output is correct. Okay, so this was the calendar module. Now there is something I want to go extra here. See, what we have done is basically use this line, right? There is no learning in this task, I would say. You are actually using the already built up calendar thing, and you, based upon the output, you are deciding whether it was Monday, Sunday, Tuesday. That's all, right? So even if you do else if, that too will work. Else if, because in this case, in previous case, it was checking for all the conditions. Else if, so in this case what will happen, if it will find its day is 3 and it will print Thursday, it will not go down. Previously it was going down as well. So this would be the correct answer. Let's submit it. So all the test cases are passed. So what I was telling you is we are not learning anything. We don't know how it is calculating the day, right? This day, how the calendar module is coming up with, we are not aware of, means like how this guy is working, we don't know. We just feeding the values year, day, date, and we are getting at the output. It was Wednesday or Thursday. So what I want to do is I want to write it from scratch. We want to build a calendar type thing. Okay, I mean, I will, even if I'll have any year, let's say this constraint is not met. Let's say I want to know about year 1000, year 4000, year 5000, and I want to know what was the date in 18th July. Then it should be able to say. See, it's not necessary. Already we have done the task, but I'm going one step ahead and one step extra, you can say, going further beyond, so that you will learn actually something. Here we are not learning anything. So I'll give you the algorithm first in pen paper mode, how to calculate the day of a date, and then we gonna code it. Okay, from scratch we gonna build it so that you will see how things are working. I don't know whether this module is working in the same way, but I have one of the algorithm which I was searching in internet, and I found that is very good learning I can apply here in this question. So I will take that and I will first explain the algorithm, how to find it, and then we're gonna code it. Okay, so yeah, Okay, let's start our algorithm. I'll start with year first. So we have three things to crack. Okay, first we have to crack day, then month, then year. How we gonna implement these three things? So first is most complicated is year, because a lot of code will be written inside this. Then complexity wise month will come. Then easiest one is day. Okay, so basically we are trying to find for a given year what will be the number of odd days. I'll come up to, but slowly I'll go so that you will be able to connect it. So first in this video I am telling you how to figure out whether the year is century, whether the year is leap year or not. Okay, so here you can see, so we have any random year. So a year can be leap year or a year can be normal year. These two are the only possibilities. A leap year has 366 days in a whole year, total 366 days, and a normal year NY, this is LY, this is NY, and a normal year has 365 days. Some of the examples of leap year is 2016, 2020, 2024, 1644, 1740. These years are leap year. Whereas some examples of normal year is 1942, 1643, 1245. These are the years which belongs to normal year. Okay, so what is the main thing which is creating this difference? So it is this: a leap year is only divisible by 4. Okay, and a normal year will be divisible by will not be divisible by 4. That's the only difference. Okay, making this different. Now these guys you can see all are divided by 4, whereas these guys are not divided by 4. Hence they are normal year, and hence these guys are leap year. That is one concept. Second concept is about century years. Century years means which are divisible by 100. Okay, which is divisible by 100. For example, 1200, 1600, 1900, 2000, 1400, 1100. So these are divided by 100 because you can see at last you have 2 zeros. Okay, that's why they are divisible by 100. So this is the concept for the years which are not century years. If you have century years, this is the concept. a century year also can be a leap year or it can be a normal year, but the condition for checking will be changed. A leap year for century year, a century year will be a leap year if it is divisible by 400. Okay, not 4 we are checking here, divisibility by 400. For example, 1600 is divisible by 400, 2000 is divisible by 400, 2400 to 2400 is divisible by 400. So these all numbers are divisible by 400 and they are also divisible by 100, you can see. So they are century years and they are divisible by 400, that is why they are leap years. Similarly, if you will see for normal years, they should not be divisible by 400. For example, you can see 1500, 1700, 2100, they are not divisible by 400, but they are century years, they are divisible by 100. You can see they are divisible by 100, but they are not divisible by 400, hence they are being called as normal year, and these guys are called as leap years. This is for century years. This concept is for year, normal year, apart from the years which are not century years. Okay, you can see none of them are century years here. So how we gonna code this? Everything, these two conditions I have coded here. So you can see if your year is divisible by 100, see modulo sign I have used means it is calculating the remainder. Okay, if you have this any year, let's say you have 1400 year, divide by 100 it will do, and it will check for remainder. What will be the remainder? It is completely divisible, so 0 will be the remainder. Okay, so if this is equal to 0 and year is also divisible by 400, same concept I have applied here, just I have written, instead of 100 I have written 400. So if it is divisible by 100 and 400, print leap year. This condition I have done, divisibility by 100 and divisibility by 400, then it is called as leap year. You can see these are leap years. So this condition is for century years. Else if year is not divisible by, see not sign is there, not divisible by 100 means these guys, and year is divisible by 4, you can see year divided by 4, if remainder is 0 means it is, if the year is not divisible by 100 and year is divisible by 4, print leap year. These guys, not divisible by 100 and divisible by 4, so these guys will come here, then also it is leap year. So that's why else if I have used. If, else if, so two condition we have covered. The third condition is else print normal year. Okay, so hopefully you are able to see that how I have implemented this 3-4 lines of code, that's all. So here we are checking whether it is a century year. If it is a century year, then check for divisibility by 400. If it is divisible, then print leap year. If it is not, if the year is not divisible by 100 means it is not a century year, then check for whether year is divisible by 4 or not. If it is divisible by 4, then print, again print, you can print leap year. You have to print leap year. Else if there is any other case apart from these two, print normal year. That's how I have implemented it. Okay, so this is just to check whether the year, given year is leap year or not. If it is leap year, it will print ly. If it is not a leap year, it will print ny. Simple. Okay, so that's how you will check whether the year is leap year or not, and this I will be using in months case. Okay, when I will be coding month, I will be using this. Just remember. So that was it, and I'll now jump to odd days, concept of odd days. How you wanna find the odd days in for a given year. Okay, now let's look at the concept of odd days here. Odd days means how many extra days we have. So given a year to us, it can be a leap year or it can be a normal year. A leap year has 366 days, whereas normal year has 365 days. Okay, so if you divide the normal year with 7, why we are dividing it with 7? Because we have 7 days only, Sunday to Saturday. So if you divide it with 7, you will have 52 weeks, means 52 times it will be divisible, but extra 1 will be there, 1 odd day will be remaining. So this is the remainder, and this is what you will get after division. You will get some quotient you can think of. Okay, so you are dividing 365 divided by 7, quotient you will get 52 and remainder you will get 1. What this means is you have 52 weeks and 1 extra day you are getting. Whereas if you will take leap year, it has 366 days. So you can guess, if you will divide 366 divided by 7, you will have 52 weeks, but this time you have 2 odd days. This is very important. So normal year will have 1 odd day and leap year will have 2 odd days. Now come here. With this concept, here you can come for first 100 years. For first 100 years, if you will divide 100 divided by 4, you will have 25. But 25 what? 25 leap years. Okay, so if you started from first, second, third, fourth, likewise you went till 100. How many of them, how many of those years between 1 to 100 is leap year? So it is telling 25. But is it is including 100 as well. But 100 is a century year, you can see. So you have to check the divisibility by 400. It is not divisible by 400. Hence you have to remove 1 and total 24 leap years will be there. Okay, in 25 it was taking 100, it was including 100 as well, but 100 is not a leap year because the condition is a divisibility by 400 and it is not divisible. That's why it is not a leap year. It is a normal year, 100th year. So total you have 24 leap years. I'll write it, 24 leap years. Here I've already written it. So 24 leap year, and remaining out of 100 is 76. 76 will be normal year. So you remember this. I'll remove it now. Okay, yeah, I want to write something actually, so I will remove this. So here you can see you have 24 leap year and 76 new years. So what are those years? Just to give you a pictorial representation, I am giving you. So 1 to 100 you are going. So every fourth one will be the leap year, right? Because the divisibility is divided by 4. So 4, 8, 12, 16. These are leap years. 4, 8, 12, 16. 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48, 52, 56, 60, 64, 68, 72, 76, 80, 84, 88, 92, 96 and 100. It has to be, but it is a century year and we figured out that this is not a leap year. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So you can see total 24 leap years you have, and apart from this, whatever you will have between 1 and 100, that will be normal year. Just to give you an example, like 3rd year, 13th year, 9th year, or maybe 41st year, 53rd year. Likewise, you will have total 76 normal years. Just to give you a pictorial representation, so that you will be with me. Okay, so I'll remove this. this was just for your visualization. So now you might have got it, but between 1 to 100 you have total 24 leap years and 76 normal years, and 24 leap years is excluding 100 because it is not divisible by 400. Why we are checking with divisibility by 400? Because it's a century year. Okay, so now we have this. So you can calculate the odd days, number of odd days. Total number of odd days will be 24 into 2 because this is a leap year, and remember a leap year has 2 odd days and normal year has 1 odd day. So I took normal year multiplied with 1. So if 1 has 1 odd day, then 76 will have 76 into 1. Similarly, 1 leap year has 2 odd days, so 24 will have 24 into 2. So total will be 124 days. But you only have 7 days in your week, right? It does not have to be, it should not be greater than 7, 7. So what you did is divided by 7, and you saw that quotient is 17. That means 17 weeks plus 5 odd day. Okay, that's the remainder. So what you are getting is 5 odd days. That will be the number of odd days in first 100 years. So for conclusion is, for 100 years you have 5 odd days. So I'll make a table here. For 100 days, for 100 years you have how many odd days? This is years, this is odd days. Okay, how many odd days? 5 odd days you have. Similarly, if you look from 100 to 200, again you will have 5. So I can say till 200 I will have 10 odd days. 5 into 2. Okay, 10 odd days. 10 odd days. Just I have multiplied 5 with 2. Between 1 to 100 you had 5 odd days. Similar logic I have applied. Between 100 to 200 also you will have 5. So 5 plus 5 total it will be 10. So 5 into 2 also you can do. 10 odd days you have. So 10, but we only have 7 days in a week. So divide by 7 and you will have what the remainder. This is what we want, right? We don't want this. We want this. So 3 will be the odd day. Okay. Similarly, if you will go for 300, you will see this has to be multiplied with 3. So 5 into 3 is 15. 15 odd days, but you have only 7 days in a week. So divide by 7 and remainder is 1. Okay. And finally, if you will have 400, then what will happen? 5 into 4. 5 into 4 is 20 odd days. Odd days. But 400 is a century year as well as it is divisible by 400. So plus 1 extra odd day you will have. That will make it 21, and if you divide it by 7 you will get 0 remainder. Means 0 odd day. So here you will write 0. This is the main thing. This I will be using in my program. Okay. So this table you have to remember, and we will be using this table in our program. So hopefully you got it. For first 100 years we have 5 odd days. For next 200 we have from first to 100 you have 5 odd days. First to 200 you have 3 odd days. First to 300 you have 1 odd day. First to 400 you have 0 odd day. So what is the thing I am trying to achieve by doing this? Now you know that in 400 years we have 0 odd days. So I look for 400 multiples. 400, then 800, then 1200, 1600. Let's say I have to find 1943. So this will be the closest century year, right? If I'll go one more extra, this will become 2000, which is greater than 1943. This is something I don't want. So I have to be here. Now why I am looking at this is because every multiple of 400 will have 0 odd days. So it's like you start from 0 or you start from 1600. There won't be any effect because your odd days is becoming 0. Okay. So from 0 to 1600 there won't be any change. from 1600, then what you will do, that I will tell you, but the point of this table is to use this facility of having 0 odd days every 400 multiple of years. Okay, so hopefully you have got it. So I'll be using this, and then let's say you have reached 1600, then what I'll do is, I'll run a for loop which will iterate in hundreds. So it will go to 1700, then 1800, and finally stuck at 1900, because that's the closest to this. Okay, so I'll do the calculation, but first I wanted to just give you a glimpse that why we are going for this odd day, and why this table is very important. Again, you will, if you want to move on, then for 500 you will have 5 odd days, 600 you will have 3 odd days, 700 you will have 1 odd day, and then 800 you will have again 0. Similarly, if you will go 900, you will have 5, 1000 you will have 3, 1100 you have 1, 1200 you have 0. Likewise you will go. So there is no change in your number of odd days, extra days. Whatever it was at 0 at first year will be same, will be there at 1200 year as well, because there is no extra day, odd day. That's why. So from a beginning to last till 1200 there won't be any extra day. So extra day is very important to calculate the date of the day of a date. Okay, so now this is what is so how I am gonna fit this in my program is, I'll run a for loop. Okay, I is equal to 0, let's say, and I'll run it in multiple of 400. So I into 400, if it is greater than my year, then it will go inside, it will save century year is equal to I minus 1 into 400. Okay, so if it will start with 0, let's say your year example, if I'll take, let's say your year is 1972. So you have to reach the closest century year. So century year will be at the last it should be 00, right? So 1972, so 1600 will be the closest, right? So if I is starting from 0, this will be 0, year will be less than year will be greater than this quantity. So this okay, this is if condition, sorry, and there will be a while loop. While I is greater than 0, it will check if it is this condition meets, and then it will do I plus 1. Okay, that's how it will work, where I is 0, I will initialize. So that is how it will, just giving you a rough idea. Okay, so if example, if it is 1973, then what will happen, I is equal to 0. If it is greater than I'll take I is equal to 0, and I is greater than equal to, I'll take, else it won't satisfy, equal to, greater than equal to 0, then it will come inside and it will check whether 0 into 400 is greater than 1973 or not. If it is not, it will increase the value of I, it will run again. Okay, while loop you already knowing how it works. Then again for I is equal to 1, it will check whether it is working or not. So it will be 400, this will be 1972, again this is not greater, so it will again increase. At I is equal to 4, you can see 1600, for I equal to 5, you can see this will become 2000, and this will be 1973. So this will be executed. There is a variable called century and underscore year that will take I minus 1, that is 5 minus 1 is 4, 4 into 4 is 1600. So century year here will be 1600. Why we are looking for century year closest to the year given to us, because this will have 0 odd day. Okay, so that is how I'll implement the finding the century year closest to our given year. Okay, now the next step I'll go in the next part. Okay, now let's look at the next approach, next step what we will do. So we have century year, the closest century year. Let's say you have 1943 given year to you, and you have found that century year, closest century year will be 1600, because 1600 will have 0 odd days. Okay, that's why 1600. Century years are 1500, 1700, 1800 also, but we have to find that century year which is having 0 odd days. Okay, so this guy will have 0 odd day closest to this. Now we have to find a close year. Close year means we have to go even further beyond, means 1600 to 1900 we have to go. Okay, close year I am just writing it, it's just a variable. Pardon me if you don't like my assigning variable names. I'm not so experienced actually. Okay, so close year I'll be finding, which is basically 1900. Okay, and then we will target this last guy 43. So that is how I am finding the odd days for a given year. Okay, so here you can see again I'll use a while loop. So what I am using it, I is equal to 0 and I is greater than equal to 0. As far as I is greater than equal to 0, this while loop will run. So I have to apply a break loop somewhere here. Okay, now you can see there are two statements. One is statement, this is statement, second statement. Inside one is statement, this whole thing is there. So it will check if condition I is equal to 0, whether 100 into I is greater than your given year or not. So if I'll do 0 into 100, this is initialized to 0, it will not be greater than year. You can see 0 will give you 1600. Then so this statement will not be executed directly, it will go to this statement. Again it will try to execute for I is equal to 1, that is not greater than 1943. Then 1800 not greater than 1943, 1900 not greater than 1943, then 2000 which is greater than 1943. So with I is equal to 4, it will come down. Okay, inside this. Now you have to store this result 1900. So close year is equal to century year plus 100 into I minus 1. This is I value. So we have to store this guy. So I minus 1 into 100 plus century year, which is 1600. 1600 plus 300 will give you 1900. So 1900 is stored here. Now what you will do, you will find the odd number of days. Okay, so 1600 has 0 odd days. Now since you have came 300 years more extra from 1600, you will see that this table we have seen before. For 100 years it is 5 odd days, 200 3 odd days, 300 1 odd days, 400 0 odd days. So we have came 300 extra, so 1 odd day we had to store it. Okay, so here this is what these 4 guys are checking. If I minus 1 modulo 4 is equal to 0, means this condition, then odd day I am writing it in mid odd day. Okay, so it's the middle program, that's why mid I have written. Okay, last program will be finding this 43. So 0 will be stored here. If I minus 1 modulo 4 is equal to 1, means you have came 100 extra. Here you have came you are at 1600 only. Here you came extra 1, so 1700 you are here. Then midday odd day will be 5, means odd day will be 5, this condition. Then here if I minus 1 modulo 4 is equal to 2, means this condition, so odd day will be 3. Similarly for the last guy, if 3 it is, then odd day will be 1. Okay, and then what it will do is it will break will be written everywhere, break. So below this line I forgot to show you, here also it will be break. So I'll show you in the program, but just I'm giving you a rough idea how to execute it. So we have found our century year as well as close year. So let's say if you are given with 1843 here, so what first step it will do, it will find the closest century year to this, which will have 0 odd day. So 1600 is the closest one. If I'll have, let's say, 2143, then the closest century year will be 2000, okay, which will have 0 odd day. So this is the first step to find. Then this is the second step, the closest year. So closest year will be 2100 for this guy and 1800 for this guy. Coming from there to here, how many years you have traveled? 16, 17, 200 years. So 200 years is 3 odd days it will take. Similarly here, if you will see, only 100 year you have traveled so it will take this one, 100 travel means 5 odd days. Okay, so this is what it is calculating. Now you are at this position, now you are at 1900 position. So next step I'll tell you how to reach from this position to this position. 43 you have to cover, right? And then we're gonna add all the odd days. Okay. Now let's look at how the final part, how we're gonna go from 1900 to 1943. So we have reached till the closest century year, which will give 0 odd days. Okay, then we reached till 1900 by using a while loop, and we got the closest year to whatever given year to us, and we calculated the number of odd days, which was 1 here. Now we gonna jump from this position to this position, final position. So here I have given the snippet. So you can see I is initialized to 0 and while loop is started. As far as I is greater than equal to 0, this will be executed. Okay, if condition is checked all the time. This is outer statement, if condition, and there is second statement which is increasing the value of I. So it will check if this condition will meet or not, else it will keep on incrementing the value of I. Okay, so what it will check? It will check I plus close year, that is it will keep on increasing the value from 1900 to 1901, 1902, 3, 4, 5, and it will check whether it is greater than your given year 1943 or not. So if this condition will be satisfied, it will come inside, and here the I value will be 44. Okay, I value is starting from 0, it will keep on increasing. When this will be 1944, this will be greater than 1943, right? So I will be, I have commented it, I is equal to 44, you can see. So if now you have I value of I minus 1 you want, right? 43 you want. So if 43 is divisible by 4, you can see your leap year will be I divided by 4. So how many of them out of 43 years are leap year? That is what I am calculating here. So if 43 is divisible by 4, which is not here, it would have stored in leap year I divided by 4. Okay, but it is not. So else if it will check, if it is not divisible by 4 means remainder is not 0, not divisible, then leap year will be integer value of I divided by 4. So 43 divided by 4 is what? 1 0 some 10, right? 10 will be the value. So leap year will be 43 divided by 4 is 10.75. This is the value when you will divide this. So it will take only the integer part, means it will take the 10 will be stored here in leap year. Now normal year out of 43 will be 43 minus 10. Okay, so that will take 33. So 33. So after completing this whole line, you will have leap year is equal to 10 and normal years is equal to 33. So out of 43, how many are leap year and how many are normal year? That's what I am checking. Once I will get these guys, my job is done, and I'll break this while loop. I'll come out of it. Okay, and once I'll get these guys, I can calculate the odd days. leap year odd days will be equal to leap year into 2. So you have you know that for 1 year leap year provides 2 odd days. So for 10 years you will have 10 into 2, so 20 odd days. Similarly, for a normal year, normal odd days, if you will calculate, each year provides 1 odd day, so 33 year will provide 33 odd days. So our job is done, everything is done. So first we have calculated the closest century year, that will provide 0 odd days. Then we went till the closest year, which will provide some number of odd days, that is first I am calling it as. Then by this process, the third process, we were able to calculate leap year and normal years odd days, so that is 2 and 3. The total will be 1, 2 and 3, and this will be the number of odd days for 1943. So this long process you have done just for calculating the number of odd days for 1943, your given year. Okay, now what we will do is we will find the number of odd days for months and for day. That will be easier compared to this. This was the most hectic part. First step is this, then second step is this, then third step is this, and finally you got the total number of odd days for the given year. Okay, so we'll be defining in function form. All of these will be in function form. So in year form, in year function, you will have all this. Now we're gonna do for month, and then we're gonna do it for day. So you will get a feel that how everything works. See, I know it is getting very long, the video is getting very long, and the code looks very dirty, and but believe me, you will be able to find a date of any year from this code. Even if you will try to find out for 1000 year or 15 year or let's say 120 year, any year, let's say 2020 or 2040 or 2090 also, you will provide a date of this year, you will get the day of this year. So that is the benefit, means it is generalized. I'm telling you, it is generalized. You will just feed the date and you will get the output as day, no matter if it is in 10,000 years ahead or 10 years ahead or in the past as well. And I will cross check everything from the online data. I'll show you everything. So this hard work pays off. That's what I'm telling you. It will be generalized and you can use it anytime, anywhere. Okay, so that's how I'm treating this problem. So let's go to the month side. Now year part is done, so I'll code it and then I'll show everything. But first we will complete month and day wise, means how you wanna calculate the odd days for a month and for a day, given day. Okay, so yeah. Okay, now we are done with year part. So in this video I'll be starting the month part. Okay, how we wanna calculate the odd days counting the months. So there is a catch we have to be careful about. Okay, so that is what I'll tell you here. So here you can see I've taken the example of 1943. Now we started with 1600. Our odd day was 0 because this was century year and it was divisible. It was not generating any odd days. It was of a multiple of 400. Okay, then we reached till 1900 and we saw that 3 years extra we came, and for that we had 1 odd day. Okay, then we came till 1943 from 1900. So 43 means this is a odd, this is not divisible by 4. So we will take only the integer part by dividing it by 4. That will be the leap years. Okay, number of leap years between 1900 to 1943. Okay, 10 years will be there because 43 divided by 4 will be 10 point something. You will take the integer, it will be 10. Similarly, if you subtract with 43, you will get a new normal year is equal to 33 years. Okay, so we have leap year 10 years, normal year 33 years between this period. Okay, 1900 to 1943. So what does this mean? Leap years will give 2 odd days, so 2 into 10 is 20, and normal year will give 1 odd day, so 1 into 33. So 33 plus 20 is 53. 53 odd days, but you have only 7 days in a week, so divided by 7, 7 sevens are 49, so you will have 4 odd days remaining. Okay, so 4 odd days. So this is what we have done till now. Now comes the month concept. How you wanna figure out the number of odd days depending upon the month given to you. Okay, so you have to come step by step. First you target year, then you target month, then you target a day. That way it will be much more what to say, it is a clean procedure you will have. If you will randomly do calculate for month, day, it will not give a feel. So we started with the given year, we reached till here, we saw that total we have 5, 0 plus 1 plus 4, 5 odd days we have, right? Now we have to look for month. Let's say okay, so I'll tell you later. First I will give you the idea that we have total 12 months, right? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, 4 into 3 is 12. Okay, and each of the month days are given to you. See, this January has 31 days, right? February has 28 days if it is a normal year. If the given year is normal year, you will have 28 days, and if it is not a normal year, it will have 1 day extra, that is 29. Okay, that's this is the catch part 1. Then we have 31 days in March, then in April 30, 31 in May, 30 in June, 31 in July, 31 in August, September 30, October 31, November 30, December 31. Okay, by the way, if you wanna see how I used to remember this, sometimes when I was a kid I was not able to remember how many days are there in a month. Okay, I was always confused, so I had this trick in my when I was a child. I learned, and most of you might have learned. So it goes like this. So you can see these bumps, right? These bumps, this bump, this bump, this bump. So these bumps I used to remember the days. So January I'll start with January from here. Okay, this bump. Then there is a there is a gap here. You can see gap. Okay, you close your fist and you will see the gap is here. So gap means February 28 or 29. Then this again bump is there, 31, then 30, 31, 30, 31, then 30, this one, then 31 July, then again start from here. For August, 31, this, then 30, this, 31, 30, 31, 30, and then again 31. So this is a way to you can remember how many days are there. So 31 means bump, and if there is a gap, then it is 30, and in the February case you have to remember it is 28 or 29. Okay, so when it is 28 or 29, I'll give you an example. So let's say 2020 was our leap year, right? And let's say 2019 was normal year. So when you will have normal year, you will count 28 days in February, but in 2020 you had to count 29 as well. Okay, so total 366 days were there. Now how we gonna use for our thing? Let's say okay, yeah, how many odd days will be there in this days? So divided by 7, that's all. Okay, divided by 7. So if you will divide by 7, this guy 31 divided by 7 is 28, and the remainder 7 into 4 is 28, and the remainder will be 3, right? So I'll write the remainder. Here the remainder will be 0, here the remainder will be 1. So I'll write 0 divided by 1. I am dividing it with 7 and writing the remainder only. Here also it is 3, just like this. Here it will be 2. 7 into 4 is 28, remainder is 2. 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. So this is something you have to remember. Okay, how many odd days are there, because you have to count all the odd days, okay, in a month. Let's say we are given 1943. Along with that, it is given that it is the month August. Now you know the number of odd days in this year, right? It is total 5, you can see that, but you have to count the number of odd days till August. Okay, if it is 8 means August, right? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. 6, 7, 8. 8 is there, so August, till August you have to count. Only for August you don't have to count. You have to count starting from this until August. Okay, if you reach August means this month has been passed, right? That is why you have to start counting from January. January has 3 odd days. Then 1943, whether it is a leap year or not. No, right? It is not a leap year. You can see we have seen that it is not in 1943 is not divisible by 4, right? It is not a century year. If it would have been a century year, I would have checked with 400 as well, okay, whether it is a leap year or not. It is not divisible by 100 means it is not a century year. So you have to check the divisibility by 4, and it is not divisible by 4 means it is a normal year. Hence you will take 0. Okay, 0 here for February month. Then you will take 3. So you have to put logic. It is connected to the year given to you. For the current year only you have to check, right? You divide by 4 and you saw that it is not a leap year, so you took 0. If it would have been a leap year, for example, let's say it would have been 2020, this is divisible by 4. It is not a century year and it is divisible by 4 means you have to take 1 here for this case. Okay, I hope you are understanding it. So 0 plus 3, and I will come back to same question. 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3, and now this month is not complete. Okay, if you can see, I have not given the date. See, if you will complete whole month of these guys, you have to take the odd days, but August you are not given the date. Maybe it will be 15, maybe it will be 16, maybe it will be 20, any date will be there. The month is not complete, right? So that is why you don't take any odd day for this August. Okay, till July you have to take. That is something it will be clear in when I'll deal with date. Okay, so how many odd days are there? 3 plus 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 odd days are there, but we have only 7 odd days, so divided by 7. So 7 into 2 is 14, remainder is 5, right? So 5 odd days. So for month we have 5 odd days. This is for August. Okay, now let me take something like November. Okay, November let me take. Then what will be the case? You add 3 plus 0 because it is not an leap year, plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3. Okay, sorry, plus 3 is 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3, and I won't consider this one because November is not complete. Okay, so 3 plus 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, total 27. And you know that total 7 days are there in week, so divide by 7, remainder will be what? 6 odd days. Okay, for this example. So you can see that this table, this is very important. You have to write it down or keep it in your head, or so that for reference you should be having somewhere, so that you can calculate it by hand. Okay, so this was the way you have to calculate the number of odd days in a month. Okay, and this is how you will calculate. And now let's look at the day part, and along with that also I will show you an example so that you will get a clear picture how to calculate the day of a date. Okay, now let's look at the day part. Now day part, so we have done with year, we are done with month, now we have to target the day. So what we have done, I'll go through again. So we are given with a year 1943. Now we have to find the number of odd days. So we started with 1600 because that's the closest century year which was giving us 0 odd day. Okay, then we went till 1600 to 1900, we saw 1 odd day will be added. Then we went from 1900 to 1943 and we saw 4 odd days will be added. Now 1943 is not complete, right? We have to go till in 1943 we have to go from January till August. 08 means August, so it is not complete. So what we will do is we will go for 1942 because those many years are complete. 42. When you will jump to 43, you will start with January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. That's how you proceed. So if 4 odd days are for 1943, then 3 odd days will be 1942. Just I have explained here the same thing. So leap years will be integer part of 42 divided by 4, that is 10. Integer part only you have to take. Normal years will be 42 minus this 10 will be 32 years. So this will be multiplied with 2, that is 20. This will be multiplied with 1, that is 32. So 32 plus 20 is 52 odd days. 52 if you will divide by 7, you will get 3 odd days. In this case we were getting 53 odd days, so there was 4 odd days in this case. So here 3 odd days. Now what you are doing is we have to go till 8th month, and we have been there. So we started with January, we added the odd day of January, then February 0 will be added because this is not a leap year. Then March odd days, and then April, May, June, July, till July you have to do because your August month is not complete, so you have to go till July, and we got something 16, and 16 if you will divide by 7 you will get 2 odd days. So till August 1st you are having 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 0 odd days. Now let's say I will define something called 15th August we have to look for. Then what you will do is till 1st August you are you know how many odd days are there. You just have to calculate this odd day for 15. So just what you do is 15 divided by 7 and you calculate the remainder. Okay, that's why modulo I have done. This will be 1. 15 divided by 7 is 14 plus 1, right? So 7 into 2 is 14, remainder will be 1. Just divided by 7. So 7 from 1 to 7 there will be, then 7 to 14, and then the next one will be your odd day. So what you have done is from 42 you calculated for, in 1943 you calculated for 7 months, and you came up with for 08 August you have 2 odd days. From August you went to the date. For date you divided by 7 and you calculated the remainder. So till 15th you have 1 odd day. So total how many odd days you have for this date? 0 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. So total is 3 plus 2 5 6 7. 7 odd days you are getting, and if you will divide it by 7 you will get 0 odd days. Now how you wanna find the day on this 0 odd day? So for 15th August 1943 total finally odd days you are getting is 0. Now one thing you have to remember is how you wanna find the day at what odd day. So this is something a figure you have to remember. This is Sunday, this is Monday, this is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. So this table, this circle or figure you have to remember. For Sunday you mark it 0 odd day. For Monday you mark it 1 odd day. Tuesday 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 6. So number of odd days is you are getting 0. So means it was Sunday on this date. 15th August 1943 was a Sunday. So this is the process of completing of finding the day of a date. Let's take another example. So if I'll take let's say 15, instead of 15 I'll take 25. Let me take 25th August. What will be the change? Then you will calculate for 25. So 7 into 3 is 21, remainder will be 4. So like this. So here also it will come 4 for 25. Now how many of total, how many odd days are there? 0 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2, and in last you will have 4. So 4 plus 3 is 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 means divide by 7, this is 10. So divide by 7 you will get 3 odd days. So 25th August 1943 is 3 odd days. 0, 1, 2, 3. It was Wednesday. Okay. So that is how you will calculate the day of a means like what day on which date. Okay. So that's the complete process. I will take some more examples so that you will get a feel how to calculate, and you will get in the grasp, and then I'll code it. Okay. So here just in this video we have learned this part. This is what I am telling, and this part. Okay. So let's take some examples. Okay, let's look at some examples so that you will get in the flow. First example is 19 January 2010. For this we have to calculate what is the day, which day is on 19th January 2010. So just for reference I have made this table and this thing so that you will get the reference, means like when you will be calculating the number of odd days for months, you have to count these, and for a day you can see this. Okay, so these two things are for just reference. Examples I'll be dealing here. So first you can see 19 January 2010. So first we will target year. 2010 means 1 less 2009 we have to take, because 2010 is not complete. Okay, so closest century year which will give 0 odd day is 2000, you can see, and then from 2000 to 2009 you can see there will be 4 odd days. How? 2009, so 9 years we have to travel. 9 divided by 4 if you will do, it is not divisible, so only integer part you will take. So that will be 2. That is that many leap years will be there between 2000 to 2009, and if you will do 9 minus this 2, you will get normal year as 7. So you have leap year 2, normal year 7, total 9. Okay, so year odd days, year underscore odd days will be 2 into 2 plus 7 into 1, that will give you 4 plus 7, that is 11. Okay, 11, we have only 7 days, so 11 modulo 7 is 4. So that's how we are getting 4. So that is for year part, and you can see it is January only, so we don't have to take any odd days. Okay, so only for day part we have to take odd day. So 19 if you will do modulo 7 you will get 5. So total 5 plus 0 plus 4 plus 0, that will be the total odd day. So 5 plus 4 plus 0 plus 0, so that is 9. 9 modulo 7 is 2. 2 means 0, 1, 2, it is Tuesday. So on 19th January 2010 it was Tuesday. So you saw the process, means I am doing it very fast now because you are in the zone of knowing the algorithm. Okay, let's look at the other example. Okay, let's look at the second example, which is 14th August 600. So year 600 we are looking at. So same reference is given to you. Now 600 is given the year, so we will calculate for 599 because 600 is not complete. So 599 So the closest century year which will give 0 odd days will be 400, 0 odd day. From 400 to 500, 100 you have traveled, so 5 odd days will be collected from here, and from 500 to 599 it will be 4. How? You can see that leap years will be integer part of 99 divided by 4 between this, so 24 will come, and normal year will be 99 minus 24, that will be 75. So 75 into 1 into plus 24 into 2, that will give 75 plus 48, which is 123. That is the year odd days. Now you take the modulo with 7, you will have 4 odd days. Okay, so that's how 4 is coming. This is the year part. Now let's look at the month part. The month part is August, so till July you have to count. So you can see 3 plus 0 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3. Why you are taking 0 here? Because 600 is a century year, but it is not divisible by 400. If this would have been a leap year, I would have taken here 1. Okay, that is why we are taking this 0. So 3 plus 0, 3 plus 0, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, then 3, then this 3. Okay, till July we have to give 1 less. Now you count it, you will get 11 odd. This will be 16 total. This total will be 16. If you will take modulo with 7, you will get 2. So from month you are getting 2 odd days. Now finally, from month you are getting 2 odd days, and this is from date. If you will divide it by 7, you will get 0 remainder, so 0 odd days from here. So total odd days will be 0 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 0. 0 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 0. That will be 11 odd days. Take modulo with 7, you will get 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is Thursday. So 14th August 600 was Thursday. Okay. Okay, now let's look at the third example. 31st December 2030. That's the example. 31st December 2030. So for 2030 we have to find. So 2019 till 2019 will go. We'll follow the same approach what we were doing. Although it is full year we are taking, but the approach we will take is same as what we have taken. Okay, so 2019. So closest century year will be 2000, which will give 0 odd day. To 2000 to 2029, there are 29 years. So 29 divided by 4, integer part will be 7. Okay, 4 into 7 is 28, so that is the integer part. So 7. Normal year will be 29 minus 7, that is 22. So year odd day will be 22 into 1 plus 7 into 2 equal to 36. 36 modulo 7 is 1. So 1 odd day you will have here. Then let's go to the month. So 12 total 12 is there. So November till November we have to count. So 3 plus 0 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2. Like from starting from here till here we have added everything, and we have added 0 here because 2030, this 2030 is not divisible by 4. It is not a century year. That is why divisibility with 4 it is checking. Okay, not divisible, that's why 0 has been taken here. If you will sum it, you will get 26. 26 modulo 7 is 5. 5 odd days you will get because of month. Now if you look at the day, you take the modulo divided by modulo with 7, you will get odd day 3. So total odd days will be the 3 plus 5 plus 1 plus 0. 3 plus 5 plus 1 plus 0, that will be 9. If you will take modulo with 7, you will get 2. 2 is 0, 1, 2 is Tuesday. Okay, so 31st December 2030 will be Tuesday. Okay. Okay, let's look at another example. 17th October 3030. What will be the day? So 3030 we have to target. So 3029 till 3029 we have to go. 3029's closest century year will be 2800. 400 into 7 will be 2800. That will give you 0 odd day. Okay. Then from 2800 to 300 you have to come 200 extra. So for 100 it is 5. For 200 it is 3. So 3 odd days till 3000 year. Then from 3000 to 3029 we have to come. So for 29 years you will have 1 odd day. You can see how leap year will be integer part of 29 divided by 4. That will be 7. Okay, integer part. and a new year, normal year will be 29 minus 7, this 29 minus 7, that is 22. So year odd day will be 7 into 2 plus 22 into 1, that will give 14 plus 22, that is 36. 36 modulo 7 we will take, you get 1. So 1 odd day you will get here. So total you are getting 4 odd days from year. Okay, now let's go to month. So month odd day will be October. So till September we have to go 3 plus 0 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2. Okay, this is what I have done, and 0 I am taking in February because 30 this 30 is not divisible by 4. It's not a century year, so that's why divisibility is 4 we are checking. So it is not divisible, that's why 0 has been taken. So total you will get 21, and if you will take modulo with 7 you will get 0. Okay, 0 odd days for months, and if you will divide 17 with 7 you will get 3 remainder, so 3 odd days for day. So total odd day will be 3 plus 0 plus 1 plus 3 plus 0, e plus 0 plus 1 plus 3 plus 0, that is 7. 7 modulo 7 you will do, it will come out to be 0. 0 is Sunday. So 17th October 30 will be Sunday. Let's look at the another one. So 12th March 2020, this is what question is given. So till 2020 we have to go, so we'll target for 2019. So closest century year will be 2000, which will give 0 odd day with respect to this, and from 2000 to 2019 we have to come, that will give you 2 odd days. How? Leap year will be integer of 19 divided by 4, this 19 divided by 4, that will give you 4, because 4 into 4 is 16, so that is the closest. So 4, and normal year will be 19 minus 4, the remaining ones, which will be 15. So year odd day will be 15 into 1 plus 4 into 2, that will give 15 plus 8, this will be 23. So 23 modulo 7 if you will do, 2 odd days you will get, that's how you are getting this 2. Now let's calculate for month part. So month is March, so till February you have to go. So 3 is as it is, and here in February side I have taken 1 instead of 0 because 2020 this year is divisible by 4. It is not a century year and it is divisible by 4, and that's why it's a leap year, so you have to take 1 here. Okay, so total it is 4. 4 modulo 7 if you will do, it will come out 4 only. So 4 odd days you are getting from month. Then finally if you will divide this by 7, 12 divided by 7, remainder will be 5. So 5 odd days. Total odd days will be 5 plus 4 plus 2 plus 0. That will give you 11 odd days. If you will do 11 modulo 7, that will give you 4. 4 means Thursday. So 12th March 2020 was Thursday. Okay, let's look at the final example, which is today. So when I am shooting this, it is 27th April 2021. So let's calculate the day of this. So 2021 means we have to go till 2020. Closest century year which will give 0 odd day will be 2000. So from 2000 to 2020, how many odd days will be there? 4 odd days will be there. So you can see how leap year will be integer of 20 divided by 4, that is 5, completely divisible. So 5, and a normal year will be 20 minus 5, that will be 15. So total year odd day, this will be year odd day. Year odd day will be equal to the 25 into 2 this, and plus 15 into 1. So total you will get 25. 25 modulo 7 if you will do, you will get 4 remainder. That is how you are getting 4 odd day here. Okay, then let's jump to month. So month is April. So till March you have to go. 3 plus 0 plus 3, 3 plus 0 plus 3, and 0 I am adding because 2021 is not divisible by 4. It's not a century year, that's why divisibility with 4 I am checking. So it is not divisible by 4, and that is why 0 has been taken. So total is 6. 6 modulo 7 will be still 6. So 6 odd days you are getting from month. Similarly, if you will divide 27 with 7, you will get 6 remainder. 7 into 3 is 21, and the remainder will be 6. So total odd days will be 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 0. 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 0. That will give you 16. 16 modulo 7 if you will do, you will get 2. 2 means Tuesday, and today is Tuesday. Okay, so these were the examples to give you a feel of the algorithm. Now let's code it. Okay, so what I will be doing here is I'll be showing you the code. I've already written it, so I'll go through it. If I'll write all the full code, it will take a lot of time. It's a long code, and here you can see it's our question and it is clean. So what I'm using is I'm using onlinegdb.com/online Python compiler just to give you a feel that how it is working, and then I'll transport this whole code here. Okay, so let's see how I've done this. So there are two functions. Initially I wrote two functions. You can see one function is month and another function is year. You can see here. So two functions just to calculate the number of odd days. So number of odd days for year and number of odd days for month. For day I am not writing any function because it does not require so much calculation, and our actual code starts from here. Okay, so here you can see I have made a variable called list date. So date is in list form, which I'll give as an input, and I have imported sys here. So sys for the constraint actually. So in down here you can see I've written the constraint. This is full constraint. So constraint is given to us here. You can see. So year has to be between 2000 to 3000. So list date 2 is the year. List date 2. List date 0, list date 1, list date 2. Year has to be between these two guys. Month has to be between 1 to 12. So that is what I've written here, and date has to be between 1 to 31, right? So if these conditions will not be followed, it will print invalid date, invalid month, or invalid year, and straight away it will stop the execution of the program. Okay, so that is why I've imported this sys. So that is the constraint part, this is the input part. Now let's go to the code. So if you will come down, it will start odd days for year, where it will give the input list date 2, which is our year, convert it into int form, and then it will call a function called year. Okay, the first function year. So what it is doing, this is the year which is in string form. This is in string form. It is converted into int and then passed as a variable to function year, and it will calculate the number of odd days in this year till this year. Okay, and it will print here in next line. So let's go to the year function with our year. So in the top it will come here. Okay, so just like we used to calculate the number of odd days for one less year, right? So this is what I am doing. So y is our integer type year. So year minus 1, I have saved it in last year. Okay, last year means just a year before requirement. Then we start our algorithm. So there is while loop. These all things you have seen in the board. Now I am just going through it. You will be able to grasp. So I have initialized I is equal to 0. I have ran a while loop. I is greater than equal to 0. It will come inside and it will keep on checking whether the it is actually checking for century year, which is closest century year, which will give us 0 odd day. So 400 to I, it is keep on increasing the value of I by here I plus 1. It will keep on running that until and unless this value 400 into I becomes greater than our last year. Last year is this guy. Okay, one less. So once this condition is passed, inside this it will take I minus 1 into 400, which will be our century year. Okay, here we are not getting any odd days because century years does not give us any odd day. Okay, which is multiple of 4. So from here at the end of this while loop, what you will get is century year. Okay, which I am calling it as cent year. You can also print this if you want, but you might be able to grasp it. Now comes the next while loop. So I is equal to 0. As far as I is greater than equal to 0, this while loop will be running. Now here you can see it will be checking this if condition, means century year plus 100 times I value. It will keep on increasing the century year plus 100 times the year, next year, next to next year, like this. So second step, if you are able to remember, and it will check whether it is greater than your last year or not. If it is greater, when this condition is passed, it will store the close year. Okay, it's like if you are given with 1943 year, then in the first loop, in this loop, it will calculate 1600, and in this loop it will calculate 1900. Okay, so 100 times it is multiplying, and it keep on adding on century year. So close year means closest year. So century year plus 100 times I minus 1. Now you can also print this. So I'll be printing that, and along with that we will be getting odd days here. So I'm calling it as odd day mid year. So if I minus 1 is equal to 0, you'll have 0 odd day. If 1 means one time it has run, then 5 will be the mid odd day. If it is 2, then mid year odd day will be 3, and if it is 3, the midday odd year is odd number is 1, and then it will quickly break. As far as you will get you will get whatever you want, it will break the while loop. It will come out, else it will keep on increasing it. So at the end of this for loop, you will get mid year odd day. Okay, here you didn't got any odd day. Now let's go to the final loop. Here I is equal to 0, while I is greater than equal to 0, it will check for the remaining year. So you are right now at 1900, so 1900 to 1943 you have to go. So here you can see I is getting increasing, and close year you are starting with close year plus 1, close year plus 2, like this. So 1900, 1901, 1902, it is checking until your last year becomes equal to that year. You can print the value of I, but I am not printing it. So and then what you will do is you will take the value of I, which is 43 in our case. 43 divided by 4, it will check whether it is the remainder is 0 or not. It will take leap year is equal to I by 4 if it is remainder is 0. If not, then it will take only the integer value of I divided by 4 as leap year. And you can calculate the value of normal year by subtracting the value of last year minus close year plus leap year. Okay, so it's like you are doing 1900 plus leap year, and you are subtracting it from last year. So you will get normal years here. Once you have leap year and normal year, you multiply, you break the loop, and then you start multiplying it. Multiply 2 for odd number of days for leap year, multiply 1 for odd number of days for normal year. Now you have all the odd days from year. Okay, so here you are getting from leap year, here you are getting from normal year, here you are getting from mid year, and from century year it is 0. Then you add all of them, and then you can take the modulo by 7, you will get the odd days year, and then you return it. Okay, so if when you will return it, this will have your number of odd days from year, and it will print it. Then it will go to the next line. Same thing it will do for month. So now here you are sending month, your month converted into int, and function called month is called, and at the output you will get odd days in a month. Okay, there is one catch I will show you. So define month. So this is my month. Remember that table, the odd number of days in each month. So that is what I have written here. Okay, so if m is equal to 1 means month is 1, then odd days will be 0. So you don't have to count any month odd days if the month is January. Else if month is February, it will collect odd number of days in a month for January. This is for January, right? You are not collecting it for February, one less you are doing, right? So if it is March, then you will collect till February, but February has adding 0 in Feb is it is dependent upon leap year, right? Whether the given year is leap year or not. So what you are doing, you are adding 0 here. Okay, I'll add 1 in case of leap year later on. So here I'm adding 0 for February. I'm considering every year as normal year only. Given year is normal year. Then here for April, March, April, then May, June, July. I guess I'm keep on appending the keep on adding the number of days. You can see till December. December it is 26, and finally I am just passing the odd days, number of odd days in return. Total I will get, right? So it will come back and it will give it to this month value. Now I will check whether the year given year is leap year or not, and depending upon that I will add 1 or not, okay, in this given month. So see here, so this is the month. If it is less than equal to 2, the value of month is less than equal to 2, the odd number of days for month will be divided by 7 as it is normal, nothing, no issue. Else if it will check whether the month is not equal to 2, means whether the month is greater than 2 or not. That is what it is checking. Okay, so before 2 you won't be adding leap year, right? That's why I've made a case here. But if it is not equal to 2, means it is greater than 2 or equal to 2, sorry, greater than 2, then what will happen? It will check for 2 conditions: whether the given year is divisible by 100 or not, and it is divisible by 400, then it is a leap year, means it will add 1, means it's adding 1 for February month, right? Leap year will have 1 extra day, right? So 1 extra day divided by 7 modulo 7, you will get the month, odd days in month. So you are re-updating. Here you got without February addition, means like 0 was added in February. Here you are getting with leap year, whether the given year is leap year or not, depending upon that you are adding 1. Okay, and plus also you are looking at whether the given month is less than 2 or not, because less than 2 then you directly divide it by 7, right? You don't look for leap years and all. So that is what is happening. And in the else if case, it is checking for whether the given year is not divisible by 100 and divisible by 4 here. You can see, so it will add then also it will add 1. Okay, and then last is else case, it will divide by 7 without adding 1, and then you will get odd days in a month. So first case is for century year, if it is a century year. Second case is for if not a century year. What is not a century year? This list 2, this is what I am checking. Okay, so not a century year, then divisibility by 4 is checked, else it will not add leap year. Okay, a leap day, whatever extra odd day, it will not add. Finally you will get your here your odd days in a month, and then finally you will calculate the odd days in a date, and it is just a divisibility by 7. You can see it has passed the value in integer form, the day, the modulo 7, and it has saved it and printed it. So totally you got the odd days for date, month, year, and you did the modulo 7. So you will get the total number of days. Now depending upon the days, you have set 0 to Sunday, 1 to Monday, likewise 6 to Saturday. Else if cases are there, so it will print like that. So I have taken this example. So today is you can see 27/4/2021. So I'll write it 27/4/2021. So let's run it from here. So this is my console here, so you can see all the values. So it is showing Tuesday, today is Tuesday, and you can see all the other values which are printed. See, this is what, this is the closest century year given for this given year. So 2000 will be the closest, right, century year. And number of odd days is 0, you can see. Then you have calculated for leap year and the normal year, and here you can print the how many mid odd days. So mid odd days, mid year odd days is 0, right? So 2000, and only you don't have to calculate the odd day of mid year. You can see that 2000 is the closest closest year as well. So that is why this value is 0. This is the value of I actually. And here you can see, out of 21, 10 are leap year and 15 are normal year. So 20 plus 15 is 35. 35 divided by 7, 7 is 0, right? So then what is being printed here? Let me check. Number of odd days, 4, then 6 and 6. So here I have printed okay, so odd number of days in a month, print odd days in a month, odd days in a date, and Sunday. And this, before this, what is there? Odd days year. So 4 is your number of odd days in your year, 6 is number of odd days in a month, another 6 is number of odd days in for that day. So total it becomes 16, right? 16 divided by 7 is 14, 15, 2 will be the odd day. So 2 means 0, 2 means here you can see it is Tuesday, right? So that is how it is working, and you can put any other value here. Let me do that. So input, if you will give something else like let's say 15 August 1943, so it will show run. So invalid year. Oh, okay, so you can't do that. Okay, so if you will apply constraint, so it is telling you invalid year because the constraint is between 2000 to 3000 year, and you are providing 1943. Let me change it to 10. Okay, then also it will work. It will work for any year. That's the good thing. So here you can see it is Sunday, which we have calculated in the board as well. Also what we calculated, 25. Let's say 25. So it is Wednesday. Okay, and then what else we have calculated? Let me check. So we have done for 19 January 2010. 19 January 2010. 19 January 2010. Okay, let's run it. So here it is Tuesday, which we got it. Another one was 14 August 600. So let me do 600. So if I'll run it, I'll see it was Thursday, and we have calculated this as Thursday. So you can check it for any way, any date. So this is day here, this 14 is day, this is month, and this is year. So this was the code. So I'll take this whole code and I'll copy it. Okay, so I have to remove the dependency of this, right? So here I don't have to give the input in this fashion. You can see here the input is given in this form. So 08/05/2015, and that too is it's in month, date and year form. This is in date, month and year form. So I have to reverse this first two guys. So let me do it. So I'll first take it. I've done it actually. So I'll take the other file, Control A, C, and here I'll write it, And so here you can see everything is same, just in the beginning I have taken the input on list date, and I have splitted it with dash, and then space I have splitted it. So list date 0 is being saved in a temporary variable, then list the first one is transferred to 0th position, and then temporary variable passes the to the first location. So it's like flipping, like here I have taken this guy I have stored it in temp, then I took this guy and stored in this position, and this position is vacant, so I have taken it from temp in the last line. So that's how I'm flipping it. So it is given that the input should be in mmdd YYYY form, and I am giving in dd YYMM YYYY form. So that's the only change I have done. So you can see all the the function here, long function, month function, then constraint, and then all the other part of the code. Okay, so let me run this one so that you will see whether it is submitting or not. So congratulations, we have submitted the code. This is working. Let me submit it. All the test cases are passed, and you can see it is working, right? So this was it. You can, if you want, you can look this on your own. Means like it will take some time, I know, but this is one of the best code for me, because it is so much clean. It is not even taking so much time. You time wise also it is figuring out. I mean, even if you will calculate for let's say 11th year, it will show you the date. Okay, so here you can say it was Sunday on 11th year, August 14, it was Sunday. Let's look at for future. Let's go to the future. 40 I'll do. So constraint I have to remove, so let me do 30,000. So 40 we have to check, then also it will work. See, it is Tuesday. So that is the benefit. Means it is very generalized type of calendar we have made. Although I have took it a lot of time in solving this, but it is all worth it. You can see how much learning is there, and the product what is coming out of this much hard work is beautiful, right? Just write any date and you will get to know the day. And you can cross check in different size. You can also cross check by using this calendar thing, this function, and you will be able to get everything. So just for your reference, I'll save this code, and I'll put it in Drive, and I'll share the link in the description of this video, so that you will get a reference. You can download and you can use on your own. Okay, so yeah. Okay, lastly I would like to suggest you some points that when you will download the file given to you, this is calendar.txt, you will open it. So I would suggest you to use Notepad++ instead of normal Notepad, because Notepad gives I mean there can be issue of alignment and it doesn't look very professional, whereas Notepad++ it seems professional. You can see alignment, and once you will go into this language, and what language you have written in Python start with P, so go inside that and right click Python, and it will do the coloring and everything. You can see that. So that looks very professional. So the code will be aligned, and all the syntax will be colored properly, so it will be easier for you to consume. Okay, so everything is same. Here I have written a comment. You can see, if you want to give manual input, you have to write instead of this line you have to write this line. Okay, that's all you have to do. Rest everything is same. It will take care of everything. So I'll write like if I have to give 15th August 1998, then I'll write like this 15 comma in bracket 08 comma 1999. So this is something how I have to write. if you are if you want to give any manual input. Okay, else you can also do it via program while running it. So let me switch it back to what it was. So in input, and you can see you can play around with this. Okay, so this is something I wanted to mention, and I will show you to run this. I mean, in a running mode I will show you. So there is a IDE I have, Python shell. I'll open this file. So it is available in desktop. Okay, so desktop, it is available where it was available. Oh no, I have to make new file, right? There is not. I'll take this whole code and I'll paste it in my IDE, and I'll save it. Save as some random name I'll write, and I'll save it in desktop. Save, and I'll run it, so that you will see it is running. So I have to give input in a space form. So what is the date? Today's date only, 27 space 04 April space 2021. I'll put, oh, invalid month. Okay, it has to be between 2000 to 3000. It is correct, right? 2021. What's the problem? Constraint 2000 to what's the problem? So I have given the input in correct fashion, right? It is 1 minute. So it is ddmm ddmm. So input ddmm y. So it will take care of everything, right? ddmm. Constraint is out of range. How it is? Which is out of range? Year or month? So month is out of range. I have given in a wrong format, I think. 04 27 2021. Syntax error. Okay, sorry. So let me run it. I had to run again. So now let me give the input 04 27 2021. Yeah, I was giving wrong input. So it was month, day, and 2021. So let's this is month, and this is day, and it is fine. Let me do it the same thing, but without input. Let me do like this. So 04 what is this? 27, and this is 1 2021. Okay. So I'll copy it, give it to my IDE, which is here, like this, and it should work. Tuesday, yeah. So input has to be given in mmdd y. Have I done any mistake? I mean, it is correct. The constraint has to be between 2000 to 3000. That is fine. It is starting from 0, correct. If I remember, I was giving input in, okay, yeah, correct, it is correct. So let me get back to it. So here I'll get back and you can play around with this. Okay, so I'll save it. Just wanted to tell you that use Notepad++ and how it should be, and you can play around with the code. Okay, if you feel that you can optimize it in a much more better way, then you are most welcome. I mean, I'm not a professional coder, or I'm not from computer science background, so pardon my variable naming and all. I'm not that experienced. Maybe you will come up with better names or better algorithm, then it is yours now. Okay, so hopefully you have enjoyed this challenge. I mean, you liked the from scratch calendar type of thing, although the problem was not such a big thing by using just a module or just a function. Using a function would fetch you everything, but building it from scratch is a really good practice and exercise. So it was a a week-long project for me, I feel. Okay, so hopefully you've liked it. I'll see you guys in the next one.